Welcome to the Glen at Cedar Creek here in Cedarburg, Wisconsin. Now this very interesting estate-style community has some nice high quality construction with a little bit smaller homes on pretty tighter lots, so high density, but very organized community feel. Now you can see behind us as well, we have the clubhouse that is here that has access to a pool, community room, and a lot of additional resources as well. So as you can tell, when we're going through each one of these properties here, we can see that they were actually built the late 2010s and into 2020. Now that means we were built right during the pandemic time. So with that being said, we had properties that were listed saying you could build for in the mid 600s that ended up even closing as high as over $1 million. But with that being said, the really big high points about some of these properties is that towards the end of the Lucas Court area, you're able to get in and go actually beyond the creek itself. With, in addition to that, these nice screened in back porches that sometimes cover the entire back side of the property. My name is Jacob Sheets, your Wisconsin real estate agent, and me and my affiliated agents actually cover the entire state of Wisconsin. So whenever you're ready to book a buyer or seller consultation, you can do so in the link below, which we'll have in the pinned comment and in the description. From there, you're able to actually get directly onto our calendars and schedule, again, a buyer or seller consultation. The second link will have live time access to all the properties that are here and available for sale right now, refresh live time, that you can pick from and go ahead and look at in your own spare time. Now, the only thing I ask to do before we get started on the rest of the tour is to hit the subscribe button and ring a notification doorbell so you don't miss any of our future videos. So with that, let's go ahead and enjoy Glen at Cedar Creek. The statistics for the Glen at Cedar Creek. So there's a whole lot to unpack here. I went all the way back 3 years, so you can kind of see somewhat around the range of some of these that were being built in the 2018 to 2021 range, and then cut that out and then just do the past 1 to 2 years so we can see the more accurate statistics and information. So stay tuned in the next couple of minutes for that. As a reminder on how to view this and actually get good information from it and how to read it yourself, I will be scrolling through this first part very quickly, so you can pause it at any point in time, scroll through, pull it up on your computer screen, screenshot, whatever. The year the home was built, the original list price of when it did go on market, the list price when it got an accepted offer, if there are any price increases or decreases, the price that it went to the closing table for, if it was cash, conventional financing, if they used an adjustable rate mortgage on there, or it was like an FHA, that would be on here too. The date it actually sold and closed, how many days it was publicly listed on market for advertisement, so from day one until accepted our offer, how many bedrooms, bathrooms, both full and half bath broken down, and acreage, garage space, total square footage, and of that total, how much of it is in the basement. Then we break down the total price per square foot and the sold price per square foot if it did sell, if it was a single family condo, or let's say the lot itself they were going to build on, and then the subdivision if they were to list it, and how many dues there are. So for this particular neighborhood, we can see the average is around $290 per month, and there is a, if I go over to this map view here, you can kind of see how in this middle area here they have like a clubhouse and pool and amenities and other types of things that they can give to the actual community, into the neighborhood itself. So that's what you're paying for. And if you want to know everything that goes into that $300-ish a month, you can reach out to us and we will give you over the full documentation to say everything that's provided for you in this neighborhood specifically. So again, like I said, I'm just going to go really, really quick on this so you can take screenshots and analyze it again later, or pause and start the video. And then I'm going to go into the more actual up-to-date market data. So we can kind of see a lot of these were sold in 2021, majority of these 2021, and a couple into 2022 and 2023. Now I'm going to go ahead and pause the video, redo it so that you can just see the past year or two worth of data, and then resume and break down the most current statistics for pricing and value of these homes. Like we had mentioned earlier, there's again nothing available on market in this neighborhood right now. So if you were to click the link below, you could see if there are any properties that are currently for sale. If nothing comes up and it says, no search found, that means that there's still nothing publicly being marketed. But these are what's sold in the past 2 years now, going back on market. So we can see that one went on market for $550, sold for $535, a little bit below asking price here at the about $300 or $280 per square foot. We can see another one that they put in some finished square footage in the basement of about 1,000, so 900, which skews, of course, the average price per square foot down a little bit. but we can see that it was on the market for only 7 days, sold real quick. We got a cash deal here, listed at $660 and sold at $645, so a little below $650. This was 2022. This was about halfway through 2023, and then we can see about 3/4 of the way through 2023, we had a cash deal for $725 for this property that had 2,238 square feet. It was a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. Compared to this one, it looks like they probably put that in the basement and another bathroom in the basement. Still sold at a significant price of the $725 cash, and it was about $325 per square foot. And then we can see over here, this last one sold for $1.225 million. It was a cash deal, closed at the end, or excuse me, only really in Q1 to Q2 of 2022. So a ways back here when we had about 4,000 plus square feet, and now that they pretty much finished the entire basement, right? So another 1,800 square feet of that is in the basement. So you take the 4,236, subtract this 1,800, and that's whatever is in the main level, and they pretty much just finished the rest that's in the basement. That brings us to $300 per square foot, but again, skewed pretty significantly by lower level square footage versus the $325 of main level square footage we're using this. So we can kind of estimate that, this is probably a decent price per square foot of what we could expect if a new listing came to market. Obviously, people with how aggressive things are and how low inventory is and how desired these different little pockets and neighborhoods are, we could see it sell for significantly higher. But as far as one of our most recent sales here in August 2023, sold for $725 at about $325 per square foot. Again, a lot more you can dissect in this. If you want to go back in the video, hit pause and be a data nerd and analyze all the little details of all these, or you want to see these actual photos and compare for why one sold for 1.2 million versus 700, for almost twice as much, we can provide that for you. Just go ahead and ask for us, and we can send you these old prior listings as well. Reach out, get an email, phone number, or in the actual calendar link to talk to one of us below to schedule that appointment, and even reach out to the owners directly if you truly fall in love with something and want us to be super proactive to see if there's something available for sale. Now let's go take a look at all the amenities and features nearby this neighborhood in Cedarburg itself, and then take a drive through the Glen at Cedar Creek. As we know, Cedarburg is just north of Milwaukee. It's a town of about 12,000 people or so, and we can access it by Highway 43 here, getting off at the southern exit here in Pioneer, or over in Grafton, up in this area, and take that main artery all the way over to our community, which is the main way you'll probably be accessing it from the highway. As we go in here, we have some features coming up in Grafton and also in Cedarburg itself. So with this being right on the edge, you will be visiting a lot of Cedarburg and a lot of Grafton on a regular basis. They're going to be borderline the same time to drive up onto kind of the Highway 60 area into Grafton, or over onto the historic Washington Avenue of downtown Cedarburg itself. It's really nice kind of middle ground in this community itself. So let's go ahead and dive in and take a look. So we can see right here is the actual Glen at Cedar Creek. And you can actually see it's off on the creek itself here, which is one of the reasons why one of the properties itself sold for such a high price in the past, which is another reason why that one property that sold for over $1 million as well in this subdivision neighborhood, because you have that additional value being right off of the creek here. So taking a look, people love this part of the video, so I'm going to go ahead and hop back over to layers, and we can see in the community itself what it was like before it was built. Pretty cool, right? A lot has been done. Like we mentioned, a lot of these built in the kind of 2018 timeline to 2021. We can kind of see these flips of back and forth, where we started versus where we are. Very, very cool. And we can now dive into what's actually nearby in the community as well. Let's start by having some fun, shall we? Local bowling alley, just minutes away. Circle B has, of course, bowling and traditional bowling food like pizza and all that other good stuff. Good for birthday parties and just hanging out, non-contact sport, just to have a good time. And then also a sand volleyball pit as well. They'll have some tournaments and fun stuff in the area too. And in addition to, they have this park that's up here. They often will host soccer games in the fields in this area. And speaking of parks, we can kind of go right next door, cross over into the Grafton side of things and see the Lions Park, which up here is our Highway Highway 60 and comes down to the park itself. This is, I feel like, one of the most underrated community areas in all of the Cedarburg Grafton surrounding areas, because you have this beautiful park that almost no one's in, super quaint and quiet, goes right up to a tree line, kind of have a hill here, so you don't really see other people see you walking up in this area. So for some privacy, you got the space that you can kind of view the creek through the trees a little bit here, and then also has a nice little playground as well, and gazebo hosting space if you want to, have a little graduation party, birthday party, whatever. It's a great place for that, with a decent amount of parking, not a lot for like a big event, but like a little family gathering or something like that. It's a real nice space. We got the water view here, and it's also kind of connected over into this community, but very, very easily accessible for you guys over in this community. If I zoom out, being quite literally, again, a couple minutes drive from the Glen at Cedar Creek. So up next, we would also have another park, which is the Willowbrook Community Playground and Park. This is in the Willowbrook Community Subdivision, which we will, I'm sure, do a video on in the future as we get there in Cedarburg. But it is a really big playground and open into the space into the fairgrounds, which we'll have coming up in a moment. I'll zoom out for that. And also all the way around this body of water as well. They don't have like a walking path completely around it, but you can kind of meander through the park itself, take some really cool pictures, especially like during first snowfalls and the springtime. It's a really beautiful place to be. And as we continue on, I want to zoom out to give you the perspective. We have the Fireman's Park here, which was, again, like the Ozaukee County Fairgrounds. It had Maxwell Street Days, the glorified, basic huge garage sale that everyone brings all their stuff to, and vendors. They filled this whole area, and like things like 4-H events too. So big in like, the farming and outdoorsy community as well. And up next, we kind of have schools and churches, stuff like that are nearby. We have Thorson Elementary School, which we've seen in a prior video, which will pop up on the screen and kind of in the cards above if you want to see that video, is right here, Sandhill Trails and Coip Trails. Biggest perk of this one is a reminder you're popping on and off of the inner urban bike trail. So even if you're not, a member of this community, you want to park nearby and like have a little day trip, this connects Cedarburg, Grafton, and other neighboring communities as well. You can bike all the way down there for like a whole day trip. It is seriously a lot of fun and a beautiful time, like any time of year, honestly. I mean, you don't necessarily want to be biking when it's super icy, but besides that, you get beautiful views, natural tree canopies and everything. Phenomenal place to go and like hike or just have a good time with family. So that's right off by the Thorson Elementary School, one of the 3 main public schools that are in the area for elementary, which will take us to the St. Paul Lutheran Church and School. So again, not necessarily saying you have to practice that here, but saying that you're aware that it is an amenity if it is important to you. There's both the church and school that is accessible here, and then they have shopping centers and other things over here for the historic downtown. And the New Life Church as well, a much smaller church, but good community of people that are there at that church as well. The coffee culture in Cedarburg and Grafton is strong, let me tell you. I love that, and I spend a ton of my time both working in coffee shops and meeting with clients, enjoying my time. So for me, this is actually like a big deal when I'm looking at places both to live, but also just have fun. Like, what am I going to do there? There's Fiddleheads down here. It's a great open like community space and kind of a bar that's not like, when you think bar like grungy or whatever, it's like a very hip, modern social place that has like a courtyard that you can go into. N7, again, kind of an elevated, it's a little bit smaller of a space in my opinion and kind of close off, but it's very nice, hip, trendy. And then Collectivo Coffee, if you've ever been to a Collectivo, you know what to expect there. And hop in there, and they have an outdoor patio space as well. My favorite of all of them is the Grafton Arts Mill and Coffee Roastery. So this actually has access to another patio over here, but you get to see the water itself from the dam, hear that in the background, completely zone out, zen in, and you can I get so much stuff done there, and I get so much creative energy from being there and being able to create ideas for things like my neighborhood tours and brainstorming on how to best serve my clients as well. Like, I just love that area, and I mean, the coffee and snacks are really good there too. So those are just some highlights I wanted to touch on real quick for you guys. What are some of the things that I missed? Because I know I didn't hit everything. If you live locally over here in the neighborhood and you think that, wow, this is a huge perk of living in this community because of access of something that you can't get in the rest of the neighborhood nearby, or you think it's expensive to live there as far as for the monthly fees, or you think it's totally worthwhile. Whatever your opinion is, go ahead and put that below. I'd love to hear what it is, and I'm sure the community that is watching these videos would love to see that as well. If you're looking to buy and get into that community, you can leave a comment below saying like what's available for sale, or a reminder you can click on that link to see all the homes that are currently available. You have that one link that takes you to the website of all of the properties that are currently for sale in this neighborhood right now. That is refreshed live time. If nothing pops up, that means nothing's available on the market. You can see and browse, take your own time as much as you'd like, and then reach out to us when you'd like a buyer or listing consultation about the properties, and even set up a showing literally right now with one of us, reaching out with that contact info and get you in as fast as today if there's something available to look at. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump into our cars and take a look at what is all available and what the vibe is here in the Glen at Cedar Creek. Did you enjoy the Glen at Cedar Creek? Or did you have other things that you would like to note on that you either live here in the community or that we just missed out as a great feature of the neighborhood? Go ahead and comment that below, and while you're down there below, you can see in our pinned comment and in the description, like I had mentioned earlier, a way to get onto our calendars to book a seller or buyer consultation directly to one of us and one of my affiliated agents. If you're interested in other neighborhood tours like these, or you want to actually get inside of one of these properties themselves and see a full property tour, you can click on one of the videos above. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.